Today's global political and economic climate is one of uncertainty. The period of relative calm and international cooperation, for better or worse, is at a crossroads. With the election of Trump and the emergence of Brexit, it seems nationalism and populism have returned to levels not seen since the pre-World War I era. Trade policies implemented by the US show a concern mostly for their own economic growth, with other countries beginning to follow suit. With the shift towards openly protecting domestic interests by so many countries, is the stage set for a repeat of the 1930 currency wars? If so, what role, if any, do digital assets, namely Bitcoin, play? First, let us explore some history. Populism and nationalism began to take root in the 1920s, following the conclusion of the First World War. In the United States, workers worried about the end of the war economy began to go on strike, and many Americans were worried about the possibility of a radical workers' movement similar to that of the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia occurring. This led to the passing of the Popular Immigration Act of 1924, which limited Asian and European immigrants from coming to the United States, as they were perceived as radical and un-American. Following the economic crash of 1929, European nationalism began to re-emerge, with many believing their priority was to protect their economic interests, rather than promote international cooperation. The nationalist sentiment felt following the crash resulted in the US establishment of the Smoot-Hawley Tariff in 1930, a protectionist trade policy which set off a retaliatory wave of trade protectionism globally. What this all culminated in was the currency war of 1930, starting when Britain severed the pound's link to gold, in an attempt to devalue their currency and export their unemployment. With the devalued currency, other nations are willing to export jobs in order to pay lower costs and wages. However, after Britain went off the gold standard, other nations followed, with the US in 1933 and France in 1936. The three went about devaluing their currency in a race to the bottom, which essentially ruined international trade. In order to end the currency war and subsequent trade war, the US, France, and Britain entered into the Tripartite Agreement of 1936 in an effort to stabilize their currencies both domestically and on the international market. Following World War I, the Bretton Woods Agreement pegged most currencies to the value of the US dollar, which was pegged to the price of gold. This act effectively ended the likelihood of another currency war, until 1971, when the gold standard was eradicated. Today, we are in a strangely similar global environment to that of the 1930 currency wars. Nationalism and populism have re-emerged, as evidenced by Brexit and those in favour. Nigel Farage, a British politician against the European cooperation project and for Brexit, has begun to look like a prophet following the election of Trump. With the movement away from the EU by Britain as well as France and Germany, the sentiment of one's own nation first has become evident. Not only that, but the Trump administration. You can read full post on Cryptofans News, link available in text below.